Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey, and today, I'm just checking in. If you guys don't know me, I like to play guitar. I have a duo with my wife. We write original music. I built a battery-powered Class D PA. So we stay in an apartment, and in the nice weather, we like to load up our gear and play a remote. So we go to the wilderness and film ourselves performing this music that I've written, and then I'll come back here and I'll edit that together and try to upload a decent performance for you guys. So it's pretty much, this channel is about original music is the main thing. I'll drop an album usually in February. I'm missing fingertips on my front hand from an accident I had when I was a kid. I don't compare myself to Django Reinhardt or Tony Iommi, because Tony used prosthesis and he had a bunch of money behind him, and he was already an experienced guitar player when he had his accident. Same thing with Django. Django was a master guitar player when he had his accident, and Django had the use of his middle finger and his index, where I don't have a middle finger to use. I have this little piggy here that went wee all the way home. So while I do bring that up, and it's part of this stage name that I use, this PD two finger thing, it isn't that I haven't worked really hard and overcome that disability. Now, some years ago I hurt my back and life kicked me to the curb. Since I hurt my back, the place I was working for didn't take care of me, and I was denied everything. So I rely on my old lady to take care of me. My life is defined by chronic pain, and that sucks. So what I have to hold on to is this hobby of music, and I'm excited because we should be heading into cooler weather soon. We played 2 remotes so far this year, and 3 of the new pieces of music didn't get captured, but everything else, we got decent videos that are already uploaded to this channel. So the rest of the season, the remotes that we play should be fun. Now I have, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it's a wet, dry, wet rig, and what that means is there's 2 PA speakers where the guitar is wet, meaning it has reverb and delay, and then there's a center channel, and that's doesn't have any of the fancy effects on it, and that's pointed right at my head. So the idea is I can crank that center channel and really hear what I'm doing, but it doesn't end up going on the final mix or to my partner, my wife. It's not like she's going to just be hearing all me. She's playing a bass, I'm playing a 6-string guitar, and I program drum backing tracks using the computer software called Reaper, which is a DAW, digital audio workstation, and then I use something called Addictive Drums to program the drums. And I'll add some synthesizers, and I like auto harp, I like vibes, tubular bells. Sometimes I have a little, there'll be another guitar part back there on the backing track. I play more clean guitar, although sometimes it's distorted. Years ago I always distorted. Now I'm a little older, so my tastes have changed. So what's going on now, our landlord is selling the building, so we've had apartment inspections. It's just been nerve-wracking for us. We have a cat that we love very much named Kita. Now, I've been working on this project with doing this remote music for a long time, and I've got it all nailed down. Like the system, it runs on rechargeable lithium-ion batteries that we've recycled. Everything is used. It's all bought secondhand, so it's how we're able to do this. I don't have a credit card to just go and buy stuff from Guitar Center, so we've kind of hodgepodged everything together ourselves. But I'm proud of it because if you watch our live videos, the sound is really good on it. More recently, I purchased 2 secondhand guitars from Goodwill, an online auction, and I completely stripped those down, sanded them, and refinished them, and rebuilt them with superior components, meaning better pickups, better tuners. I like to use a chunky brass block and brass saddles. That's what the strings, they run through this block for the whammy bar. And if you have the stock one is pot metal, and if you tap on it, it just goes. The brass one is like, it makes a difference on the sustain and the tone of the guitar. So I rebuilt, I got a yellow one and then I got a white one, these electric guitars. And like I built my center channel amp. I've built all kinds of different amps, and I still have different options for that. I got this Positive Grid Spark Mini. This is a really good sounding digital modern device. And rather than drag this out to the remote, I sold some stuff, and I bought a Velton GP5, which is a little pedal that's got everything built into it, all of the digital amp modeling, the cabinet simulation. So I'm super excited about the arrival of the Velton GP5. I talked to a guy, Mitch Malloy, who was it Damn Yankees he was in? I know he was in Van Halen. Mitch was sponsored by Kemper, and he also ditched the Kemper to go to Tonex. Now he's ditched the Tonex and he's going with the Velton GP5. And he bought one and was just raving. He said it's the best piece of gear he ever bought. So I've got that coming. It's supposed to come here tomorrow. I think it's going to come the day after. I don't think it's going to come so quick. So I'm super excited. This is a product that is hard to get. They typically 50 of them will show up on the company's website and they sell out like that. So I've been on this. I tend to, because of the fact that I have these herniated discs and I deal with chronic pain, I tend to have time. So I can research stuff or look into things I'm interested in, and I tend to try to know what I'm on about more than being a goof. So yeah, they restocked, and I got the 6th one that they sold out of the set of 50. That's coming here. I'm super excited about that thing, although it's going to take some time for me to get it programmed. And you can adjust it with your phone. So I can bring my phone to the remote and I'll be able to tweak at the remote. So more than likely, I'm going to be busy. We're going to be decluttering and getting rid of excess. So I've got a full plate. It's kind of like I've been not stuck in a rut, but I've been creatively, the stuff that I write, it will sound similar for a while until I either take a break or reset myself somehow. And I've been in this same mode for a while now, and I think we've just about run that down. I don't know if I want to write another whole set of 15 or 18 songs in that same vein. Do I want to switch over and we're going to do aggressive, like metal? Because we were playing mellow music. I don't know. That's an option. Like I was thinking about the double kick drum thing and with the distortion on the bass, and we've played in that style, and it's fun. It really is fun. It really is. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I know typically I always record some music, call it an album, and drop that here on YouTube in February. Usually in January I do that. So who knows? You know, my path has been. I had an abusive childhood, and I was substance abuse and alcoholism for a long time. But I was functional, and it didn't get in the way too much. It still really was weighing on me, and what it took was for my mom to pass away. Once my mom died, I was able to let go and say, well, now I'm really doing this for me. No, it has to be my decision. So I kicked the nicotine, I kicked the marijuana and the alcohol to the curb, and now I live a much healthier lifestyle. So the more recent changes have been diet changes, and I'm in this healthy portion of my life where being older and having chronic pain issues, this thing like not being able to sleep ever. So it's always interesting being alive. I'm not here complaining. This isn't a laundry list of complaints. I'm just letting you get to know me, who I am, what makes me tick. So I'm really excited about the future and the possibility of making more music with my wife. That's what I really love to do. My wife plays the bass, and I'm super lucky, even though neither one of us are talented. I'm not somebody who can shred up and down the neck, and when you factor in that I'm missing half of the fingers that I should have to be able to play, I have no business being anywhere near a 6-string guitar. But like if I wanted accolade or validation, I could play bass, and I could go in a cover band, and I could be out at the bars, which I did that. I did that up until we got married, and then I realized it really wasn't fair for a married man to be out drinking all the time in bars with, there's other women around, and so I've gone into recording and making my own music, which turns out is really lonely. People do not care about original music. That's one thing that I've learned. I don't think my original music is unbelievably great, but it's not unbelievably bad either. It's good. The stuff we do is good, and it's interesting. But as far as what you would expect a typical guitar player to be able to shred up and down the neck, that's not me. So I do the best I can, and I'm doing it simply for the fact that I really love doing it. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in checking out, you can look for remote music videos, or you can go to the playlist and listen to the albums of music that I've recorded. There's an album called Semantical Nightmare. People really responded positively to that. Another album called Hokum. Hokum is a all acoustic guitar album, and that one, I really like that. I really like Hokum a lot. It's versatile, it's interesting, and I think I did a good job on that one. So I hope you'll stick around. I like it when people comment. I've met some all kinds of people as a result of YouTube, and it's just something I really love to do. And honestly, it isn't. I'm not like bitter that, oh, I have 2,400 videos on this thing and I really don't have an audience. It really doesn't bother me. I do it to amuse myself and to keep myself balanced. It's my therapy. So I'm excited about the future. This new toy, this Velton GP5, I just can't wait. It was a real lot of intent behind the decision of exactly what I was going to get and then actually getting it. And now it's like it's going to come and I'm chomping at the bit. But the new gear sounds phenomenal. Like I got this. This is a $230 device. It's got a built-in battery pack. It's really simple. It's basically one volume knob, and there's a selector to pick 4 different sounds. And you can select the amplifier that it mimics and the little pedals, imaginary pedals that it'll run using your phone. And this thing, it sounds phenomenal. And I had tried the Tonex, which is a new type of amp modeling. I tried it on my PC, and it just blew me away, the sound quality. And from what I've heard, this GP5, it's supposed to be a Tonex killer. So I'm super excited about it. Like I said, I built my center channel amp, which it's really cool. It sounds phenomenal. I recently I removed the speaker, and I have a Celestion Foxhall Road, an old British, like a real old Celestion that was gifted to me from a tube amp builder. And so I put that speaker in there and I foamed it, where you put foam all on the inside, and it's got a little port with a what do they call that tube for the low frequency to come out? Anyway, I had built this amp into a real small chassis with the knobs right. You could barely get in there and turn them. It was so tight. And I love the way it sounded, but it was just kind of tight to operate. So I built it into a much larger box. Nobody ever said anything about that amp. And then I built it into this bigger box, and people were like, "Oh man, is that cool? Did you make that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I made the little one that I've had here for 10 years, and I've been, no one ever noticed." So it's an exciting time for me because the technology has been improving, and China started making the Class D amplification, which is between 85 and 93% efficient. And that's the only reason I was able to do what we've been doing. The old amplifiers, you can't run them on batteries so much. They'll just drain the batteries right away. These amps are so efficient, they don't get hot. There's no heat. So you can get just the amp board from China. So I will get that. I'll order it direct and then build it inside a speaker cabinet and put a preamp that I build with an equalizer circuit. I'll build that from scratch, meaning resistors, capacitors, transistor. That's another thing I do, is build guitar effects, and then the Class D amps. Like I said, we built the PA system. So it's been a mind-numbing amount of work, and it's like when this Realton GP5 comes, I'm done. I've got two Strats, I've got two headless guitars, I've got a Steinberger Spirit that's fully customized. It's got the single ball and string adapter. It's got the bearing races to make the tuning easier, and I replaced the pickups. I've got super distortions in it, and it's a lovely instrument. And then I got a bootlegger spade, which is really cool. So I don't have to take my American Standard Strat out on the road to the remotes. I have these two Squires that I rebuilt, and our PA, I have one that records every input off the board in high quality to a SD card internally, and then I got another one that has an internal power supply, meaning you can load it up with rechargeable 18650 batteries, and it's not as powerful. It's 50-watt satellites and 100-watt sub. The main one has an external e-bike battery that's 48 volts, big honking battery, and that's 75. It's 75 per satellite, or no, it's 150 on each side and 300 on the sub. It's a 600-watt amp. So typically I like to have, as far as outboard processing, I do like to have an equalizer. So we built just a 3-band 24-volt EQ, and I have an active splitter, so my guitar plugs right into the splitter, and then there's two lines. One goes to the MG30, which is the stereo amp modeler that goes to the PA for the two mains, and then the other splitter, the other line, will go to the Velton GP5 and then to this center channel amp. So it's, like I said, I started working on this in like 2000, around the year 2000, and we got in trouble from the police for doing it, so there was a break where we didn't do it. I really seriously started doing this in 2007, so it's been a long time coming, and like, I'm done now. I don't have to upgrade, I don't need anything. I can just focus on the songwriting. So it feels really good to accomplish your goals. If you're still watching this, I'm not saying that. Part of what I try to do here is encourage people. If I can do what I've done, and I've had this accident. If you're out there and you have 4 fingers, well, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for a guitar player, I feel strongly it should not be playing in a bar, playing someone else's music. That's not rewarding. If you can get a gig doing that and you love the attention that it gets you, more power to you. But eventually, trust me, my path in 1996, I promised myself I would never work in another band, and I went into home recording, and that, like, I've improved so much if you listen to that first stuff to what I can do now. So that growth is what fuels me. That's what gives me that validation. And it's nice when other people notice, but I really don't need that. I can do this just kind of by myself. I have my own ears. Even if people, for whatever reason, won't accept it or it's not popular, it doesn't matter to me. I can still hear these pieces of music that I wrote. You know what I mean? Anyway, enough of my yakking. Let's boogie. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for your interest. Hug your pets is what I always like to say. And peace.